All right, Larry Krueger here at Levi's Stadium at the 2-minute warning as the Niners are finishing up preseason game number 2. And it looks like 49ers are going to go on to a win, 16-10 over the New Orleans Saints. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in both spots from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in Corte Madera and in Emeryville. As I said, they're open 7 days a week. And this video is also brought to you by Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles, 205 Cypress Avenue, Pacific Grove, California, along the Morai Peninsula. Go talk to my good buddy Anthony Catania. He's at 831-521-5264. All right. Minute 40 to play in this one. Niners up 16-10. Brock Purdy started this game. Niners led this game 13-7 at halftime. Purdy started. He went 2 of 6 for 11 yards and 1 sack. You know, he was in there with no Trent Williams, no Brandon Ayuk, a lot of backups. A lot of people were surprised that Shanahan would even put Purdy in a game like this with no Trent Williams. But he played, and he was 2 of 6 for 11 yards, and as I said, took the 1 sack. Josh Dobbs was the first quarterback off the bench. Dobbs went 12 of 21 for 133 yards. He also ran 3 times for 25 yards. In fact, one of those runs, a very impressive run by Josh Dobbs. Brandon Allen came in third. He went 7 of 10 for 36 yards. He played the third quarter. And then Tanner Mordecai came in the fourth quarter, and Mordecai came in with 13:24 left in the fourth quarter. And guys, I thought Mordecai looked great. I thought he looked really, really good. To me, he looked really, really solid. I mean, Mordecai, I think, wound up going 4 for 6 for 44 yards, and the Niners went on a 13-play, 62-yard drive that resulted in Jake Moody kicking a 36-yard field goal. 6 minutes and 22 seconds on the drive. It put the Niners up 16-10. So Mordecai really looked good. He had a pass to Braden Willis, bootleg pass. That was his first pass. Then he hit Tongus, the rookie from Cal, 2 for 2. Then he scrambled for a first down. I don't know if it was a first down, but he scrambled. Then he hit Tay Martin on 3rd and 9 for a first down. And then he threw it to Danny Gray. He caught it once, and then it popped into the air, and he caught it a second time. So Mordecai began 3 for 3, finished 4 of 6, but looked in control. And I'm going to ask Shanahan about Mordecai in the postgame because I thought he looked good, man. He looks like a guy who can play NFL football. They've had a real good string of luck here with Brock Purdy, and they may have hit on Tanner Mordecai as well. Other things that stood out in the game today. Eric Saubert, the tight end, broke up an interception in the first half. There's the balls that you catch, but then there's the balls that are intended for you that you don't catch, but you don't let the defender catch. And Saubert really showed great competitive fire, breaking up a would-be interception in the first half. Jair Brown had a tackle for a loss. Renardo Green had a PBU. Jalen Graham and T.Y. McGill had a combined sack that resulted in a forced fumble that Alex Barrett picked up for the fumble recovery. Once again, Curtis Robinson is playing tremendous ball. He had at least 2 TFLs. He also had a pass defense. I thought he was fantastic. I thought Jacob Cowing was fantastic. 38-yard reception in that second quarter from Dobbs on a corner route. Then he had a 19-yard end around. Cowing looked great. Niners first teamers played the entire first half. Jake Moody made a 47-yard field goal. He made one from 21. He also made one from 36, but he missed a 51-yarder. Jalen Graham looked great today. He had a sack. He had a solo tackle. He was flying around. He was making plays. Tatum Bethune continues to play really, really good football. He had a fantastic play against the run. There was one injury of note. Nick Williams hurt his knee, and we don't know quite yet about the severity of that injury, but he went down with a knee injury. We'll talk to Kyle Shanahan about that. But the Niners get the win. 16-10 is the final. 49ers go to 1-1, and they will play out the preseason next week against the Raiders, and then it is week 1 in time for the New York Jets. So we'll find out as far as the injury report, were there any significant injuries in this game. That's obviously the first and foremost, the number one thing. But I would say, primary takeaways from today, one, all the quarterbacks played decently. I thought Dobbs looked pretty good. I thought Brandon Allen looked good. Purdy was all right, and Tanner Mordecai finished strong. Some of the young defenders between Renardo Green and Jair Brown in the secondary, I thought Jalen Graham, Curtis Robinson, Tatum Bethune, those guys were fantastic. The Niner linebackers, Graham especially. I mean, I've really liked Graham for a while. This was the first game where Graham clearly outplayed Winters. I'm not saying that Graham's better than Winters, but tonight he was. And to me, Graham to me really stood out. If I was giving game balls out in this one, I'd give one to Jacob Cowing. I thought Cowing was fantastic. I'd give another one to Jalen Graham. I thought Graham was really, really good. I'd give a game ball to Eric Saubert just for the effort that he showed to break up that interception. And I think I would go a fourth game ball to Tanner Mordecai, who got his first action as a pro and looked like a pro. I mean, he absolutely did not flinch. He looked fantastic. He's got mobility. He's got arm strength. He knows what he's doing. He stays calm. 49ers got something there. Now, how do they opt for Tanner Mordecai to be QB3? I mean, the question is this. Are the Niners going to keep 3 quarterbacks on their active roster? Or are they going to keep 2 on the active roster and 1 on the practice squad? If the game plan is to put the quarterback 3 through waivers, Tanner Mordecai probably gets through waivers easier than Josh Dobbs. That's just a guess. That might not actually be the case, but that might be the case. That Mordecai gets through waivers and Dobbs does not. Now, if Mordecai plays next week against the Raiders and plays awesome, maybe that isn't the case. Or if somebody really, really liked Tanner Mordecai, maybe somebody would grab him. But I don't think so. I think he would probably get through waivers. The question is, do the Niners want Josh Dobbs at $2.25 million as their third string quarterback? The money's guaranteed, so they're going to pay him either way. But a couple years ago, they paid Sudfeld money to go away and went with Brock Purdy instead of Sudfeld. Will they do the same thing this time and go with Tanner Mordecai over Josh Dobbs as QB3 because Mordecai's cheaper, and maybe even try to trade Dobbs? There might be a team out there that would be willing to pull the trigger on a deal that would send Dobbs there. I would think the Vikings, who lost J.J. McCarthy, might have interest in Dobbs as a backup to Sam Darnold. Just a thought. All right, that does it for the update. We're going to go downstairs into the locker room here from Shanahan. Then we're going to go on KMBR 680 with John Lund and Dennis Brown and Adam Copeland. And then I will come back upstairs and we'll go live on the Krug Show and take your video phone calls and chop it up. Kev, JD, Rye, Danny, everybody will be in the house. So that does it. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles for sponsoring this video. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.